Hi everyone, welcome back to Project Happy Home. For those of you who are new here, I'm Tanya, a doctor, lawyer turned homeschool mom of 3 kids ages 10, 7, and 5. If you are interested in videos about secular homeschooling, raising a child with ADHD, and living a more essentialist lifestyle, you have come to the right place. So be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my curriculum reviews or just musings about how to live a more simple life in general. In today's video, I'll be showing you a book from one of my very favorite companies. That's the Critical Thinking Company. And we have loved a lot of their logic books, including the Mindbenders series, for a long time in our homeschool. We also really like their mathematical reasoning series. We do not, however, like their language arts books, which I can't remember the name right now, but it's their companion language arts curriculum to the mathematical reasoning. This is a unique Mindbenders book in that it's the Mindbenders Warmup for grades K through 2, but I would argue that it's really appropriate all the way through elementary school. This one is structured a little bit differently than the typical Mindbenders with the visual square grid puzzles that you see. It is, however, good for deductive reasoning skills and deductive thinking skills in oral form. We actually use this book for our morning basket or our anytime basket. And as you can see, it is structured with simple paragraph questions. There are no options. These are literally logical thinking problems. So for example, they range from the simple, like Carl is Rose's husband, Mrs. Willows is Rose's mother. How is Carl related to Mrs. Willows? So a little bit of vocab practice, a little bit of thinking in your head about how these people are oriented with respect to each other, to slightly more complicated questions like if Randy were 5 centimeters taller, his height would be 89 centimeters. How tall is he? So that's a mathematical reasoning question, right? Where we're not exactly saying what the math problem is, but if someone said it this way, how would you figure that out? There's also some true false deductive reasoning questions, like we all know that no 2-year-old can ride a bicycle. Danielle is 2 years old, so what must be true? Mr. Horlick's wife is a trumpet player with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. Betty has never been musically talented, so what must be true? Well, we know that Mr. Horlick's wife is probably not Betty, right? So just the way of you hear statements and then you immediately deduce something from those statements. I think it's really good practice actually for little kids to hear something that's not so literally stated and then be able to understand what the meaning is underlying those comments. So some of it, like I said, is straight math, like 10 minutes ago, the time was 25 minutes after 10 o'clock. What time is it now? It's an irregular way of asking that question, but definitely shows you whether the child actually understands that concept and whether they can listen. We use this book not only for deductive thinking skills practice, but also just for listening skills to see if they could listen throughout the question, hold that information in their head, and produce a logically thought out response or conclusion from that. It goes on, and I believe it has about 100 maybe. It has a 79, very odd number, 79 different questions. And you can see at the very end, it does have a grid question here. But I found it to be a really nice little way of talking through deductive reasoning with kids and also practicing their listening skills. So this was a really quick little review. I hope that was helpful to you all. As always, I wish you the very best day. Stay safe out there, okay?